Hola, això és Efect. Continuem aquesta sèrie que estem dedicant a un dels clàssics de BioWare. Estem en el capítol 15 i després d'uns quants capítols aquí a la Ciutadella, un bon grapat de capítols, aquest episodi del joc és bastant llarg, fins que aconseguim desemmascarar en Saren, que li treguin la condició d'espectre i ens la donin a nosaltres. Doncs ara, a la següent missió, com tenim aquí, és, un cop l'hem desemmascarat, l'haurem d'anar a perseguir. Doncs per anar-ho a perseguir necessitem la nau, que ja la tenim, que és la nostra, i per tant doncs, ara ens han de donar permís per marxar i ens han de donar pistes a veure on hem d'anar, perquè ara mateix no sabem on està en Saren, sabem que està segurament a la zona del través, prop dels sistemes de terminus, que és d'on han sortit els Get, i és on estaven les colònies humanes com la d'Aiden Prime, i es tracta doncs, d'anar segurament a aquella zona i intentar trobar on s'amaga en Saren i què és el que realment està buscant, perquè sabem que està buscant el conducte, sabem que l'atac a Aiden Prime va ser per intentar obtenir informació per trobar aquest conducte. Ell mateix ho revela amb una gravació d'àudio que va descobrir la nostra amiga Tali, però no sabem gran cosa més. Per tant, és qüestió de trobar-lo i alhora doncs, d'investigar i d'intentar descobrir què és el que està buscant.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
Fantàstic. Ara tenim la nau al nostre control.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Sí, però sabem que hi ha alguna cosa més.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Sí, això ens ho van explicar.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
Vale.
Anything else?
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Vale, tenim 3 pistes. Pharos, Noveria i aquest cúmul d'Artemis Tau. Jo crec que hauríem de començar per aquest cúmul d'Artemis Tau.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
Bueno, ja vigilarem.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Vale.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing. But you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
És injust per part seva, però
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Vale, la història s'havia repetit.
Why weren't you honest with me?
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
Mal assumpte.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere.
Oof.
Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians.
Oof.
Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Ara ha quedat tot clar.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. Maybe he just likes the violence.
No.
Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the
The
Spectre.
only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren.
We had intel on a rogue sign.
Ja ho ha
We
explicat,
tracked.
això.
The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant.
The only thing I
You're
care
right,
about is...
Commander.
Vale,
It's no
a
good
veure,
living in the
aquí on hem d'anar.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city.
Huh?
Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
Si és una colònia proteana, hi pot haver-hi alguna cosa.
What can you tell me about Noveria?
Noveria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Noveria respects. But they aren't popular.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
No, ja no necessitem res més. Tenim tota la informació que necessitem.
In the early
Els
21st,
batarians. I aquí ens parlarà
there are between 200 and 400. Pharos is a habit. Noveria is...
Pharos i Noveria. Vale, doncs ara tenim noves missions. Trobar la Liara Tassoni, Noveria i Pharos. Per tant, tenim aquestes missions. Aquí suposo que podem entrar. Sí.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Vale.
Heard what happened to Captain Anderson. survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Sí.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
Vale.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
This began with an attack on a human settlement in the Traverse.
But we know Saren won't stop there. His Geth armies aren't going to stay on the far fringes of Citadel space.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
Gràcies.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Vale, doncs ja estem aquí a la Normandia. Alguns còdecs més. Ja estem aquí, una altra vegada. Després d'aquest episodi... Després de l'episodi de la Ciutadella tornem a estar aquí, aquesta vegada amb la nau sota el nostre control.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Per què?
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Necessitem l'ajuda.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Una bona elecció.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Una bona elecció, sí, sí. Presley és un dels millors navegants que podien haver trobat. A veure, mirarem, farem una ràpida volta per si hi ha alguna... Això és el que buscava, aquest tipus de còdex. Tot això ens dona informació cap al còdex, que no llegirem, però és una mica d'experiència. Bé, doncs aquí ja no queda res més. Aquí ara podrem utilitzar el mapa de la galàxia. Ho farem, però no encara. Primer anirem a baix. Aquí no, a baix. Anirem a baix. Revisarem la resta de la nau. Anirem primer baix de tot. Vale, aquí comença a haver-hi gent. En Rex està aquí. Ja parlarem amb ell en un altre moment. Aquí és per donar equipament als nostres aliats. Aquí a l'Ashley. Què diu?
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Vale.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am,
Vale. Aquí tenim el Mako, que serà el nostre vehicle quan baixem els planetes. A veure, aquí diuen Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Aquest es pensa que podrà fer el que li surti als nassos.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
Per què no?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Vale, o sigui que haurem de... Vale, això és el que ens venien allà en els espectres. Vale, ja veig. Haurem de comprar les llicències. Una millora de Medigel. Augmenta la quantitat de màxima de Medigel que es pot portar, vale? I també les granades. Vale, això és baratet. A partir d'aquí la cosa es dispara de preu. Vale, les llicències les podíem comprar amb els comerciants que hem anat allà, que hem vist allà a la Ciutadella. No els hem comprat, les llicències, però les haurem de comprar. Quan tornem a baixar, haurem de comprar llicències. Aquí estem a la zona de màquines. Aquí és on està el motor, per entendre'ns. El nucli d'element 0. Tot això ho explica en el còdex, No ho buscarem, però ho explica en el còdex. Parlem amb l'enginyer.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
No.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Això és molt interessant.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Interessant. Allà hi ha la Tali, però ja parlarem amb ella en un altre moment. Ja tindrem temps de sobres per parlar amb tota la gent, perquè el viatge serà molt llarg, igual que amb Rex i tots aquests. Anem a acabar el recorregut. Anirem a la primera planta. En aquest capítol no farem gran cosa més. Ens dedicarem a això, a acabar d'explorar la nau. Aquí hi havia la coberta mèdica, amb la doctora Chakwas. Ja parlarem amb ella en un altre moment. O podíem parlar amb ella. Aquí no hi ha res, és el consultori. Va, parlem amb ella.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
Vale. Perdó per aquest so d'aquest telèfon. En fi, això implica que ja haurem d'acabar ja el capítol. Aquí en teoria hi haurà d'haver alguna cosa, però encara no. Acabarem d'explorar aquesta mica de cosa per agafar tota l'experiència que ens queda. Aquí està en Caden. Ara no parlarem amb ell. Aquest és la nostra cabina, que era la cabina del capità Anderson. Ara és la nostra. No hi podem fer res aquí. Almenys de moment. Vale, hem aconseguit unes entrades més al còdex. Ens han explicat tota una sèrie de coses. Moltes coses. Moltes coses ens han explicat. A veure, encara queden més. Aquí a la tecnologia hi ha més coses. Sí, perquè... És que tenim ens han donat molta informació. Bé, doncs de moment aquesta és tota la informació que tindrem. Me'n vaig a dalt un moment, abans d'acabar el capítol, perquè el següent que farem ja serà anar-nos-en del sistema, anar-nos-en de la Ciutadella i començar a explorar la galàxia. No tota la galàxia, òbviament, sinó la part que se'ns ha assignat que explorem, que és la part del travers, tot això. De la configuració de la galàxia i tot això ja en parlarem en algun altre moment, perquè el mapa de la galàxia doncs s'ha d'estudiar bé, però això ho farem ja a partir del següent capítol. Aquest el deixarem aquí, a les portes de marxar de la Ciutadella i d'emprendre ja el nostre viatge que serà llarg, però que serà molt interessant i molt ric en aventures i en descobriments. Així doncs, fins al següent capítol.